Welcome in, everybody, to the third episode here on the After Hours podcast. Mr. J. Gilbert alongside Schmidtty 32. Man, we're 3 episodes deep now. We're practically big time.
Like Spotify, watch out. We're coming. We're coming.
Man, but start us off. Introduce yourself for any new viewers that are just tuning in.
Welcome, one and all who are here today. I'm Schmidtty 32, variety charity streamer. Always have some sort of charity work going on, and currently empowering epilepsy, trying to raise $250 for. We're primarily Diablo 4 and New World content creators, but dabble in a few things here and there. We like to spread positive vibes, keep the vibes chill, and have a good time. And spread love, happiness, positivity, man. It's what we do on a daily basis.
There we go. My name is Mr. J. Gilbert. I'm a teacher by day, streamer by night. I run I'm a big variety type gamer, streamer, but I do a lot of community games as well. Usually run a different community game every Thursday, so I like to play a lot with chat. And I also just like to get hard carried in all the games that I play.
Facts. I can attest to that statement.
Oh man, as we're starting off today's segment, my man, what's on your mind?
Oh, Diablo, Razor Plate, 100%. 100%.
We're gonna get to all that later.
We're gonna get to all that, but that's honestly, if you just want to know what's on my mind, I'm farming for uniques. That's what's on my mind.
You're gonna be doing a lot of farming for both New World and Diablo coming up.
Yes, I have went up like 20 season pass levels so far today, dude.
Oh my god, you might be beating me now. Well,
no, I'm just trying to catch up, dude.
Speaking of what, we're getting way off topic here, but did you ever spend a couple hours clearing out your inventory like you said you would?
So,
in New World,
those who have been in chat and been around earlier today, yes, we did spend some time with inventory management last night, and I think it was like an hour and a half. And you know what? I'm only about half done. I was like, "Fuck, dude, 3 hours of breaking shit down consistently. I'm so embarrassed." But you know what? I'm doing better than this guy who did Cyberpunk. I was like, sorry, babe, I love you, but I got to do this. I'm sick of it, man. I am so sick of it. It's stressing me out.
I should have. I used to be so organized. We're getting way off topic. We haven't started yet. But I used to be so organized. I used to be so organized with like having all of my like leatherworking ones in one storage unit, all of my woodworking in another storage, etc. Right? It's getting to the point now where my storage units are so full that I'm just throwing anything I can in open storage units.
Yeah. You find open space and it's just like, I'll deal with it later. I'm gonna throw it here.
And it's then like 2 years I'm later, running out of later.
Fuck, I need to deal with this. This has been 2 years of like clutter. So hoarding. My cooking went up like 80 levels last night in like half an hour because I could craft like 80 of everything.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah, I'm starting to run out of later. Yeah, the later excuse, I'm starting to run out.
We got to do this. So I have a little work to do, but yes, I was very proactive, and I'm proud of myself for cleaning up my inventory.
So I hope we don't get too many materials tonight. So I don't have much to put in my storage unit.
A lot of New World to play, yeah. A lot of New World to play.
Well, for me, for what's on my mind, man, the only thing that I'm just really not stressed out about, but trying to get caught up on life. So as I just said earlier, I'm a teacher by day, and October for me was super like jam packed. We had conferences, we had 2 different field trips, we had like a fall party, like we had data meet, like we just had so many things packed into October that it's like now I'm starting to get to a point where like I'm kind of getting caught up on like just grading and like whatever. Right. Well, then Friday report cards come out. So like I'm like crunching to get all like my last minute grading stuff done because I have to finish report cards on Friday.
Well, and it's not only all of that, but it's that time of the year where you have your, break and then Thanksgiving break. And then there's just like, there's so much going on. And then you have, arguably the busiest time for teachers is like this fall time, especially like November, December. I feel like is just an absolute insane schedule to try to cram everything in and get everything done and graded before like the kids go away and have vacation.
I'm almost to the point now where I'm like, if you guys say one nice thing to me, you get an A. I don't even care.
what do they say to you, man?
Just give me a
Just
compliment and you
one
get an
nice
A.
thing. Just
I don't even
one
care.
thing, man. Just one thing. Oh, funny.
But yeah, so that's me, man. I'm just
It's
my real world, like my real life. You know what I mean? Not the streamer life. My real life is just being so like just stressful that it's
well,
like
it's
it's never ending. It seems.
in the grocery store too. It's everyone's starting to stock up for Thanksgiving, and I swear to God, I'm watching people drop kick people for advent calendars and fucking gravy and just every little thing that comes in. It's a madhouse, and
Well,
people just get insane. So yeah,
you know what we need to do next year when we're like one of the biggest podcasts on the face of the planet? We need to make
BlizzCon,
an we need well that, but we need to make an
BlizzCon.
after hours advent calendar.
Uh,
An after hours
oh, we just
podcast
need to make
advent
an after
calendar.
hours calendar, dude. We're gonna be two handsome dudes, dude. We should do a streamer calendar, dude. Get Crit and everyone in there, shirts off, baby oil. It's gonna be great.
I mean, firefighters, step aside. It's gonna be us now.
It's gonna be fantastic.
But
I'll
all
slide
right,
down
man.
your pole.
Oh, don't threaten me with a good time.
I'm
All right, let's get
ready.
to
I'm ready. I'm
let's
ready.
get to some topics. Always want to start off what I'll start off with. One of the topics to get it out the way. NFL this past weekend. I don't have much to talk about because my Niners had a bye week. So hopefully we come back from that bye week this week and stop sucking. We went in on a 3-game losing streak, so it's hopefully we turn it around. But you know who's not on a losing streak?
Eight
The
and one now.
The
8-1.
Philadelphia
Is
Eagles.
that what we're at now?
Man, our first topic that we're going to talk about, man, is that Philadelphia Eagles Cowboys barn burner. What came down to the wire, the very end.
First half, I was like, okay, we got this, but it got a lot closer. We've had a couple games this season like that where it was like just when you think, you get two touchdowns up and you're starting to feel kind of comfortable, the next thing you know, you find yourself within like a field goal or something, and it's like, what happened, bro?
Well, man, did you watch the game or just the highlights?
Again, just the highlights. I work pretty much every Sunday, Monday, and I don't have much time to watch football, unfortunately.
I'm sure all the highlights are talking about that final drive at the end of the game. It was penalty central, right? So like the Cowboys had like under a minute or whatever, and the whole length of the field to drive. Okay,
Right.
Back-to-back pass interference penalties put them on the Eagles like 25-yard line.
Right.
And then they get within like the 10 or 11, and then the Cowboys have a couple penalties and push them back. And then there was like a turnover or like a sack fumble or something like that, just a sack at the end of the game that obviously the Eagles then, solidified it. But
we've had some close ones. It's been I'm hopeful. But I'm scared because our defense has always looked amazing. They've been kind of the foundation, the rock of our team this year. And for what looks so good on paper, I've said it, last week, probably the week before, and I'll say it again this week. The offense, it's either clicking or it's not. And especially when it gets to the important games, playoffs, Super Bowl, because again, we're pretty much, unless something drastically happens, I think we're pretty much guaranteed playoffs at this point. But it's like, what team's going to show up to choke and win the game that really matters, man? And that's what I worry about. Defense is great, but that offense.
Hurts took a shot to the knee. Did you see that?
He did. Yep.
So
I was like, are we getting into that yet? So
Hurts took a shot to the knee. So he came back and played, but is there anything going to be lingering? You know what I mean?
Now that it's been a more than just a 1 week thing, I think this is something that, unless it's literally just like the minorest of strain or like a muscle strain, I mean, this is something that's going to kind of be a little season changing. He might not be able to, be able to scramble and run as quick and as fast as he otherwise normally would. And of course, we'll talk about it again, the tush push. When you're having knee problems and stuff like that, like, is that really what you want to be doing as well, to like be shoving somebody forward? And I mean, who knows what could happen with the knee? And take care of yourself, buddy.
I mean, I'm okay if he gets hurt. That's just
lineman, take care of him. But it is something, it worries me. And now that it's shown to be a more consistent thing. So
when's your guys' bye week?
12. I think 12, 13, something like that.
Well, it's not 13 because we play you 13.
Okay.
So I hope it's not 12.
Yeah,
And that gives you
11, 12, something like that.
That gives you 2 weeks to prepare
Maybe
for
that's
us. I don't like that.
It's gonna be great.
Oh God, I don't
It's gonna
like
be
that.
great.
Some more NFL news from around the league. Your thoughts on the Ravens potentially being the team to beat in the AFC?
Love it.
Yeah,
Absolutely love it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they're looking
Whatever keeps
hot.
Mahomes out.
They're looking
Take 'em
hot right
out.
now, and it's like so. You say the Chiefs, like they're still winning. Don't get us wrong, but like they're not winning like convincingly. You know,
Right?
they're looking like they have holes. They're looking like at any time a good team could go in there and score on them last minute. You know what I mean? They're not looking like,
Right.
but it's like the Ravens. They're just looking strong each and every week now.
Right.
So like, do you
But
think that them over like the Bengals and Bills, like, are they the top team in the AFC?
I right now, excuse me, I think definitely Ravens and Kansas City. They're definitely the top two contenders. I don't think anyone is going to compete with them at the moment. But as I said, whatever takes Kansas City out, I'm okay with that.
I agree with that as well. Yes. Last topic for the NFL around the league. One of the teams that was touted as the highest scoring offenses in the league. One of the teams that just everybody thought was going to run away with the league and just kind of
Right?
score over everybody.
I mean, how it started,
The Miami Dolphins. They are
Yeah.
leading currently right now in every statistical, or one of the players like Tua
Right.
or Tyreek, whatever. They're winning
Dude, the
in every
offense has been absolutely insane.
yeah, they're winning in every statistical category except for rushing, and that's Christian McCaffrey. But like Tyreek, Mostert, like Tua, all of them are either leading or top 5. Like,
Right.
why are they still losing?
The thing that comes to my mind is just, I mean, the defense. I mean, with numbers like that, there's really, and whether it's the offensive coordinator, the defense, there's definitely some sort of miscommunication, something going on there. But to have an offense that could put up numbers like that and do what they do and still like kind of lose on a consistent basis, clearly the defense is just letting the other team score more points.
Yeah. I also think Tua isn't as elite as everybody thinks he is. I think he's a one-read quarterback, and if you have fast receivers like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, if you lob it up to them and they outrun the defense, like of course, you know what I mean. Like you're gonna get big plays, but I don't think Tua is the elite quarterback. Like now he's scared because of all his concussions and things that he's starting to get kind of like exposed. People are blitzing him. People are confusing the secondary. So now he's not making the same decisions that he used to.
Yeah, right.
But
yeah, we'll see what happens.
Any other NFL storylines stick out to you from the
Not
weekend?
really at the moment. As I said, I got a chance to catch a few highlights, but other than the Eagles, I didn't have a chance to really look at too much. Again, work busy season.
Yep.
It's wild.
Well, now it's time for our video topics.
Games. Yeah, and there's so much to talk about. There's so much to talk about.
So much. This might be one of our longest episodes. Our first topic that we're going to be talking about is New World. New World dropped a lot of information as far as the new update coming out, the new like DLC, if you will, new expedition, things like that. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the mutations for this week?
So it looks like, we could start with the mutations. There's 2 mutated dungeons this week, like they do every week. Wasn't Barnacles and Black Powder one that was last week as well? So that's weird that I saw that 2 weeks in a row. But we have the Depths, which is mostly a corrupted enemy type. And so if you are looking at running this tonight, you will be looking at trying to run thrust weapons, which would be bows, muskets, spears, swords, nature. Life Staff is always a great option for those healers and stuff out there, and it will help you out damage-wise in these expeditions. And you will want to also run Arcane. They are weak 2 with Fire Staff, Ice Gauntlet, and Void Gauntlet. Definitely helpful. And you want to keep your Aquamarine gems on with the Depths. The mutation is an ice one, so Aquamarine gems for the added ice defense will become very important, especially with the higher mutations.
And like you said, Barnacles and Black Powder is yet again going on.
Yeah, I think
week.
that's the first time I've ever seen that it show up 2 weeks in a row.
So make sure it's Hellfire this week, right? So drop your Ruby gems for
Yep, we
that.
have the ruby gems, and that one you'll find mostly lost enemy types. Now, the boss at the end is like a lost beast mix, so you will want to kind of have both those trophies in your houses. If you're running that again, especially on the more difficult ones. The lost enemy type, they are weak to strike damage, which will be your bows, spears, muskets, rapiers, and swords. Again, ice. So either one you run, ice will be very good. So ice gauntlet's going to be a great one to be running this week. And then nature, they're also weak to. So again, life staffs will be again very good. And again, whether you have like strike, ice, or nature on your weapons or anything, you can also add gems onto your weapons to add some of those elemental types, which will definitely help you get through those not only the expeditions but the more difficult ones as well as you try to go up mutation levels.
Side note, before we kind of talk about the new stuff coming to the New World in the Eternal Frost DLC expansion coming out. Since we're talking about expeditions, is Tempest Heart still your favorite out of all of them?
It's never been my favorite. Will never be my favorite.
I mean, I
Take that one.
I hear you say such good things about running mutated Tempest Hearts.
If I have a good group without certain individuals, it can be tolerable.
Who
But
are you talking to?
as long as we have a good tank, that's all I fucking care about. He runs the
Yeah,
aggro, and y'all just swing away, and I put the circles down.
yeah.
But if I
Yeah.
had to choose one, probably Lazarus. Do you have a favorite expedition?
Okay, aesthetically, like the visuals, obviously Tempest. Like we hate the run itself, but
Oh,
we talked about it
beautiful,
before. It's
absolutely
beautiful.
beautiful.
But I mean, I would say Lazarus just for the just swing away mentality.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? There's really nothing that goes into the expedition other than just swing away.
yeah, it's
You know,
really
there's
the
really not many
mechanics on
puzzles
all
to
the mini
do, like things
bosses,
like
the other
that.
bosses. It's in my opinion, and I think most of the community would agree.
Mm-hmm.
It's the easiest
Yep.
expedition out there. So especially in the before they reworked everything, when you wanted to have an expedition where you could do mutated 8, 9, 10 to get as many umbral shards as you could, that was the place to go.
Yeah.
When that one was, you'd see when like Enid or Tempest, you might see one or two groups running, but um if Lazarus was going to, you'd see 10,
Um,
15. It was
I mean,
incredible.
I do really like, even though I've never actually beaten it yet, that new Forge one, the
Mhm.
human archetypes. You know, because we could never get past that final boss.
Well, you couldn't. I beat it 3
You did.
times or
That's
4
true. I
times.
have not.
I
I
beat it
still
a
have.
couple times.
I've played it
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 times and still have not beat the
Dude,
final boss of that. But it's like I like that expedition.
it's
That's
tough,
a fun
dude.
one.
Like it
Yeah.
can. Oh yeah, and in fact, every one of them has their kind of time in the spotlight. In my opinion, they all are unique. A lot of times, dungeons can seem very redundant and a lot of
Hmm.
reused assets, and
Hmm.
but each one of those I've always found looked really nice, really unique mechanics, and just as you said, aesthetically, just they're
Right.
so beautiful.
For sure. All right. So talk to me about Eternal Frost. What's some of the big updates, some big informational drops that we need to be we
Well, that
will be
was
expecting?
um because that's like the next big like
Yeah.
story expansion then with
Yep.
everything
Yep.
that is coming out December 12th. They are adding a it looks like a new expedition, which I guess I didn't realize a new expedition was getting ready to come here in a few short weeks. For those interested, that we are celebrating the return of the Winter Convergence.
Hmm.
And with the new storyline, we apparently are going against the Knights of the Round Table. So we're yeah, maybe Merlin's going to be in it. That could be kind of cool.
Right.
But apparently there's some forbidden knowledge of the ancients that we have to try to stop some ritual with them.
So,
And I'm just
so
really excited to see where the story continues.
yeah, Angry Earth has been the kind of focus now. So now this next one's going to be kind of more of an ancient focus. It seems like.
Okay, yeah, and there's
Yeah, kind of focus on the different archetypes. The thing
mhm.
with the Winter Convergence, and again, I'll have to look more into like the patch notes and the dev, video that they did on it. Are they switching up the winter? I don't know if you happen to know. Are they switching up the Winter Convergence so it's not just fighting the Yetis? Does it have to do
I'm not
anything
in
with the Knights of the
I'm
Round storyline?
I have I have no idea. I
Okay,
didn't see much on
I
that.
haven't either.
As far
Yeah.
as I know, it seems like just maybe the Yeti people again.
Hmm.
And the Knights of the Round Table is going to be with the story.
Sure.
But I just can't believe I'm like, oh my goodness, that was part of the rush where I'm like, I have to get this season done. I have to get this season pass done before the next season drops. Because oh my
Yeah.
goodness, that's right around the corner.
This is what podcasts do to us. Like we go off on so many tangents. And I was just thinking about this because your reaction to them dropping a new expedition
Uh-huh.
for this one, like your reaction, like by saying that, led me to this question: do we have right now like expedition overload? Like, do we have too many
No, no,
expeditions?
no. No, I mean having anything more like that in the end game is only going to be beneficial to the player, the community, I mean to the health of the game. Especially with live service games like this and games that they want people to log a bunch of hours into. Getting new dungeons and expeditions is great. Yeah, the expeditions were fun the first original, what, 5 or 6? It was great
Yeah.
when it first came out, but after a while it's like, it becomes so mechanical.
Hmm.
And it was just like Destiny when Destiny has new raids or something. It's just that giving you a new purpose. And again, the more you can do for end game content,
Sure.
the more interested you will be to play.
Sure.
So adding expeditions like this, and especially people like myself who aren't into the PvP games or the PvP side aspect of things, having another large kind of PvE group dungeon delve is always going to be
Yep.
something I'm super interested in myself as a player.
I see here too on the on our agenda notes that New World is getting the Cross Worlds expedition servers.
I don't did you know about this before? I just
I
read about this
I
today.
knew it was coming. I just didn't know when it was coming. So
So
last I knew it was, I just
I
didn't know
think
when.
that's great news. So that
Yeah.
way it doesn't matter. I mean, whether from a player, a content creator, from any and all perspective, that's great.
You should be able to
So
run it
literally
whenever you want. Yeah.
anyone out there, if you want to run expeditions with me, with Mr. J, it doesn't matter what server you are anymore. If you have
Hmm.
to ask yourself, I don't have anyone left on this server, our server kind of died. Like, do I have to go to another server
That.
to play with
Yeah.
people? Not anymore. And
Hmm.
I think that is just fantastic. I think that's going to help a lot, especially with the health and longevity of the game, because as someone in season one, before Diablo came out, I played New World literally every stream. That's all I did. And it, after a while, was just so hard to find expedition groups because after the first day or two, everyone already run like their 15, 20, or pretty much whatever they planned on running that week.
Yeah.
And so it got harder to find groups. And so literally the more people you can have potential to play with, I mean, the better it's going to be. I'm
Sure.
so excited about that.
Sure.
And they're dropping 8 new artifacts with this update as well. Very excited.
A lot more to grind. That's good. Like I said, life
Yeah,
of the
there
game.
was so much.
It's.
I popped in and was like, holy
Mhm.
shit, I had no idea half this stuff was coming in like it is. And I'm excited.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a new expedition, I always get excited. What do you think, kind of enemy types or anything? Do we know much about it aside from there's a new expedition?
No, because I
'Cause I
mean,
don't think I
obviously,
saw anything that had,
the Knights of the Round, they're probably going to focus more on the Varangian Knights, and
so
I'm
do you think it's
sure
gonna be ancient enemy types then?
ancient and human. I'm guessing.
Okay.
Because like I said, they're obviously focused
Okay.
on the ancients, so they're gonna be more ancient style enemies,
That's
but
what
then
I was gonna
also
say.
also the Varangian Knights as well that are kind of sprinkled in throughout the map. The
Right.
yellow and black ones that are
Uh-huh.
sprinkled in like throughout the map a
Mhm.
little bit. So they're gonna start having more of a storyline too. So I'm
Nice.
guessing maybe like the Varangian Knights that got corrupted by ancients, or I don't know, maybe if there's even a crossover, but
Just make sure you make a video on the story so I actually, have a chance to watch it. Because 'cause I'm just gonna
oh,
skip everything, dude.
dude.
I rush through everything, dude. I don't
I
care.
actually
I'm
sit and
just like,
listen to the
"Level
story
up,
the
I
first
gotta
time.
do
Yeah,
stuff."
yeah. I gotta go back to making videos. I haven't made my New World 101 videos for a while.
Yeah, right? You should. You
But
should, cause I need to watch them so I can learn how to be a better player.
yep, yep. All right. This next topic.
Ooh.
I can
Ooh.
only fuel your fire. All right. I can only
Ooh.
sit back, grab my popcorn and Capri Suns. So if you're looking for a sponsor,
Ooh.
I'm still waiting for
Ooh.
Capri Sun to sponsor us.
Yeah,
But
I'll message my people to message their people.
thank you,
You
thank you.
know, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, so I'm going to turn it over to you because there was a big event happened recently. That's BlizzCon.
What is that a thing? Do
And
people go to
and
that?
I still
Are
think
people
so.
aware? Are people
Now,
aware?
there are multiple topics that we'll talk about within BlizzCon, but I think the first one you want to get to right away, Diablo 4, and
Oh, it's always
all
exciting.
and all of the updates and all the changes that's coming with Vessel of Hatred, the
Uh-huh.
new expansion. Tell us more.
There's yeah, so they announced at BlizzCon Vessel of Hatred. We're going to be going back to a Diablo 2 area location. At some point I need to go back or I need to go and play it. I've actually never played Diablo 1 and 2, and it's something I've always thought about to go back and get the Diablo 2 remastered. But the jungles of Koresh, which is just south of Kyrgyzstan and Hawazar, is looks like where we're going to be going next. So just south there, they're going to be adding a new class, new story. They're talking at least one act, maybe two. But the area that they're going to be opening up for this first announced expansion, it's almost as big as like 3 sections of the map already put together. So it's going to almost like double it. It's
Is
going to
that a
be about
paid?
at least 75% bigger.
Is that a paid expansion?
Yes. So all the expansions will be a paid, and
Okay.
again, I don't know if they've announced again officially whether it was like $20, $30, but um, I agree with you 100% that if the content is worth the price,
Mm-hmm.
I have absolutely no problem. And I know a lot of people are like yearly expansions and what have you. But where before, like you would say, where the game comes out, you're pretty much done with that game. There might be a patch or two, but it's not like you're still working on that game 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the road. And so if you're going to have a team of developers still actively working on this project for this content, if the content is good and worth the price, like yeah, I have no problems with it because that's
Yeah.
something that is going to be brought up quite often. It's like, oh, yearly paid
Yeah.
expansions. But
Yeah.
if they do it right and make it good with interesting content with fun mechanics, I think it has the potential to be great.
Well, it's kind of the
But
same
time
way
will
with
tell,
what New World did in the Rise of the Angry Earth expansion.
right?
Everything was free up until this point. So if you're
Right?
sinking hundreds of hours into all this content that's getting released for free for you,
Hours,
right? What's a
right?
$20 to $30 expansion to help continue to support the game if you're
Yeah.
sinking hundreds and hundreds of hours into the game?
Well, I mean, it depends on how you want to look at it. It's like, okay, if you and your wife want to go out for a movie, it's going to be like $20 to go see the movie, and you're entertained for what, like 2 hours,
Uh-huh.
maybe two and a half, if it's a longer movie.
Right.
And there's $20 for 2 hours of entertainment, where for 20, $30, if I can get like, at least 20, 30 hours of entertainment of new content, I think that's pretty legit personally. And,
Yep.
if you have
Yep.
some that, like I haven't finished the Cyberpunk or really gotten to the DLC, but I assume it's several hours.
I'm still
So
playing
it's,
it.
yeah, it's just,
I think it's at least
I
30
I'm
hours just
I'm
the expansion.
I'm really hoping, but it is coming, yeah, late 2024. So I think we're talking about this time next year, maybe a Halloween. I could see them doing like a Halloween October release for that,
Mm-hmm.
but time will tell. Time will tell.
Right.
But the big question,
The
the
new
new class,
class. Yeah.
the new class.
Yeah.
This
That
is what
never before seen class,
I
apparently.
know that I mean, honestly, I watched it on stream and I was like, okay, there's some fun stuff, but they said never before seen class coming to Diablo 4. So no witch doctor, no monk. Everyone's been asking for a Templar, no Crusader,
So
but they have dropped a few breadcrumbs to some potential hints
you put
at what
down,
this class might be.
yeah, you put down shaman as like what it might be. Isn't
Yes,
that just like a version of the monk?
it can be. Yes,
So like they say, never before seen class, but if they just call it a different class, isn't it technically a reskin of what they've had before?
maybe that depends on the mechanics they come up with, and that's kind of the big talk right now. Is it's like, if it is going to be a shaman, like is it going to be like drop totems? Is it going to be more of like a support class? Is it going to be kind of buff with the more people you have in the group? They're thinking it could be kind of almost maybe another druid style, since
Uh-huh.
thinking the shaman almost another kind of nature class, where maybe it might also be almost like a sorcerer class, where maybe it really leans into like specific elements and like the earth, wind, fire,
Yeah.
earth. I know it's really interesting, and the reason I think it was Rage Gaming, Rage Gaming on YouTube. He was the one that kind of was hinting at this, that in that area over in Koresh in the south, where this new place is, where this is going to take place, they have had initial sketch art in Diablo 2 and other things that have referenced shaman in the area.
Hmm.
So it could just be maybe a new enemy type, something that they're experimenting with.
Sure.
One that I kind of would like to see, and kind of put a Twitter poll, or not poll, but like a Twitter question out. I think a warlock, like having another kind of magic class, because the necromancer, I don't know, it is magic, but that's kind of its own thing. I was like a warlock. I wonder what.
But what could a warlock do that would be different than what you'd spec a sorcerer into?
I don't know. A warlock is a cool name, and I think that'd be really cool. But that's
Yeah.
I don't know. I know a warlock. The fun one though is someone said a chef. And I said only if it's like the Swedish chef, and it was like barley, 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 York, York. And I'm like, only then, only like
Right.
that. Yes, yes, we could have a
Well,
chef class. That would be
so a
fantastic.
couple things. A community member says, wasn't Warlock in Diablo 3?
No, there wasn't a warlock in Diablo 3.
Okay. I don't know. I didn't.
There was,
I.
yeah, just barbarian, crusader. There was the sorcerer, monk,
Mhm.
witch doctor, which is probably what you're thinking of. But
Maybe,
I'm
yeah.
like a warlock. Maybe they could do like a nature style warlock, where they could like have roots and stuff come up from the ground and
Sure.
like trap people and do stuff
Sh-
like that.
Sure. I know,
Again, leaning into like the nature, they could
yeah.
do like a lot of knockback, like pushback wind effects. I don't know. It'd be interesting. Like, I just, being a Sork main and loving Magic, I would love to see
Yeah.
another
I
Magic
know
class
com-
personally.
a community member of ours said this in Discord and in just chat a little bit ago too. What if they did or created like a bard style class, like a support style
Ooh,
bard?
okay. I mean,
You know,
yeah, 100%. That would
like
be interesting, and
music for buffs. You know what I mean? And then
well, it
obviously,
would it would be kind of almost similar to like the monk in like Diablo 3. There was a lot of kind of party buffing
uh
um skills that you had on that, and I mean anything that could help boost party. But the problem with that would be, for people who want to like, or who end up
solo.
playing by themselves or playing
Uh-huh.
solo, it's like, because that was the thing with the monk, where it was like, oh, some of these builds look really fun, but it's like you have to play with a group
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do
How could
that.
you solo a bard? Like bard is not a fighter, really. You know.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. The seduction, they'll fight them with
Yeah.
seduction.
Yep.
Toss a coin to your witcher, oh
Ah,
valley of plenty.
too soon. Too soon for that
Too
Witcher
soon.
show, man. With Henry
Oh
Cavill
God,
leaving, too
they
soon.
did them dirty, done dirty.
Did you watch all of BlizzCon or just kind of the highlights or the?
So I missed the first hour. I caught a little bit of Overwatch, and I thought it was
Yep.
hilarious when they were like, and we know, everyone's excited, Overwatch 2, and this. I was just like, oh my God, dude.
Yeah,
That
here we
that's been an
go.
absolute disaster. You guys are like giving it away on Steam now, bro. Like, you can't lie to me.
According to BlizzCon, though, Overwatch they are trying to keep it alive,
Well,
and they're trying.
Overwatch is doing great.
Yeah.
Overwatch 2
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
is garbage.
Yeah. That's.
It's a shit game.
Yep.
People aren't
Did,
playing it.
did you see all the World of Warcraft things that they dropped at BlizzCon?
A little. I know there's been a bit of hype with that lately.
Mhm.
Fill me in, man. I'd love to
So
know
yeah,
more.
so they did what's called World Soul Saga, and the first time they've ever done something like this, they've announced. And I mean, a lot of companies are starting to do similar things, but they announced the next 3 expansions at BlizzCon, right? Of what it's going, and it's going to take place over a few years. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right,
expansions come out like every year or 2 years or
right.
whatever. But they next what
3
they
is insane.
Right. They announced what the next three are, and they all play off each other. So then there's this guy up here with like a deep, like dramatic voice, was explaining the World Soul Saga and like all the locations
Ooh.
that you go, and yeah, excuse me, explaining what each like I know chugging, explaining what each like saga, each part of the saga, does and goes on and like changes throughout the world and where you go. And I've never really gotten to World of Warcraft. I just know it's still huge. My question is, will World of Warcraft ever die?
Nope. Nope.
God, it's like Fortnite.
It's gonna be around forever. It's gonna be around forever.
Jesus.
As long as the servers exist,
Yes.
they will. It might even transcend time. Like I don't know. It might be an omni being
Yeah.
by now.
Yeah. I mean, just with the World Soul Saga, like thing that they announced at BlizzCon,
Dude, when that
that's
game
minimum
came
five,
out,
6 years. It's
was
still
that
gonna be
when
around.
did that game come out? That was 20,
Early 2000s.
2000. Yeah, I was gonna say it has to be like 2004, 5, 6, something like that. It
Yeah.
had to have been out by 2006, 2007.
Yeah.
And yeah.
See
I've never played it. I've always been interested, but it's kind of like RuneScape. It's like I'm
yeah.
interested, but you play 5 minutes and you're just like,
Yep.
I don't have the fucking time for this, dude. There's way too much I'm already playing,
Dude,
trying to get through. There's just
I'm gonna echo what somebody said in chat here. Just make WoW 2, so I don't feel like I'm missing out on decades of missed content. It's annoying that it's still $15 a month.
yeah,
Here's the
8
thing with
monthly subs.
here's my feelings with WoW. You got to give WoW its due when it's literally set the stage for MMOs. It has written the book on what you should do in an MMO, what you can do in an MMO, and all the other MMOs like try to take pieces from it to do their own thing, right? So
Uh-huh.
it's the trendsetter. I get that. But here's the thing. It's costs $15 a month. Not a lot of people are going to want to invest in that, especially now when the game's been out for 15 years.
Yeah.
Like myself, why am I going to get into a game that's 15 years old, pay $15 a month when I'm gonna be so far behind the storyline? I'm not gonna know what all the expansions did and the stories with them. And it's like I don't think World of Warcraft is bringing in like new people. It's just more of these
Oh,
people that have been playing for 15 years. Like, well, I have to keep playing it now.
exactly. No, and you look at the numbers. That's 100%
Yeah.
what's going on. And in fact, the player base has gone down like 90%.
Mm-hmm.
And only when the DLCs or something like that, the new content, it spikes for like a week and then goes right back down.
Right.
And I think what ends up happening, and the reason that again it's still such a viable thing, is people come in and what they probably do, what I would probably end up doing, is just buying a month or two, beating the content, and then not playing it anymore. So you don't spend the $15, and you're like, oh well, I can't play that content anymore because I'm not paying the monthly subscription. They
Exactly.
wait for the new content to
Yep.
come out. They pay $15, whether it's just that once or twice or however long it takes, and then they don't play it again until the next stuff comes out.
Yep.
And that's the cycle that happens. And through the years, and again, the players that were with that WoW from the very beginning, I mean, their families, kids, school events, and
Yep.
it's just like that they don't have the time to grind 6 hours a day, 8 hours a day,
Hey,
and
100%.
when you do have some time, you're just like, oh my goodness, I can't get anything done. So that's another deterrent, that it's just there's so much to do
100%.
and so much to farm for and so much to craft
100%.
that it's super daunting.
Yep.
But it will live forever. It will live forever.
At this point, it will. Yeah. Anything else from BlizzCon that you had off the top of your head? I mean, those are kind of highlights for me that I took away from it. At least that I was
So
interested in.
just to kind of finish up with Diablo,
Sure.
leaderboards coming out season 3. I'm very excited for leaderboards. And it's something I've mentioned before and something I'm still very much thinking of doing in honor of JB 1371. I've really been thinking about season 3, just really pushing the envelope, and I'm like we're getting you on the leaderboard, buddy.
What's your goal? What's your what
I would love to be top 100, because
top
if this
100?
is all together with PC and Xbox kind of together, I mean, this is the biggest Diablo game that has ever come out. So being in top 100 out of millions is going to be a challenge. But I think, wow, how cool would that be to be able to be like, hey, dude, like leaderboard Diablo 4, buddy.
Yeah, dude.
And so I'm getting really excited about that. It's something I've always wanted to do. And so the question is we were both like, I was just like, what class should I be? And that's the true question. But I have a few weeks to think about that. That's not going to start until January. I think end of January, the new season starts.
Yep.
But other than that, just dropping today, they did add some new malignant rings. So some of those malignant powers that you could get on your jewelry through season 1, you now have certain rings that can drop with some of those powers to add to your jewelry now. And so I'll be really excited to start delving in tomorrow and getting into all of that as I farm for my razor plate for my Thorns Barbarian build.
Very cool. Very cool.
It's going to take forever, bro. I'm never going to get it. Never going to get
Never.
it.
Oh man, last couple topics that we have today. One, I don't know if when you read over the agenda, if you were surprised by this next topic that I put on there.
I was wondering if it was something that was a community thing or just you personally.
No, I know we've talked about it. You talked about it on stream, like you've talked about it many times over the last few weeks and whatever. And I was like, you know what? It's time to, just give credit where credit's due and just have a little conversation about it, right? So what we're getting at, you guys, is I don't want to say too much because I'll let Schmidtty kind of go over, in more detail. But Schmidtty has been on an incredible weight loss journey.
I've lost a few hashtags.
Yeah, incredible weight loss journey. And I want to acknowledge that. I want to say, hey, dude, congratulations, at least for your hard work and, everything that you put in. And you kind of
60 pounds in about a little over 5 months. I've lost 60 pounds since June, middle of June.
Like I said, congratulations, man. I wanted to kind of at least bring that to light and say, hey, man, awesome. That's awesome.
It's fun.
Part of that, man, figured we kind of talk about for a short time. Is there like recipes, meal ideas, food prep that has worked maybe for you, or just ideas that could work for others?
So again, this is the 4th time I will have lost like 100 pounds in a year. I just have a really bad history of losing it and then over about 5 years gaining it back, and it's a vicious cycle. But through all of the times I've done this, there's always, like 2 or 3 things that always stick out for anyone that wants to do any sort of weight loss journey. And thankfully, I inherited my mother's stubbornness in spades, and it helps a lot when you can be incredibly stubborn, because when you get something in your head, there's just no stopping you. But I've been doing keto basically for about 5 months, 5.5, but it might not be right for everyone. It is just something I kind of wanted to try. I got diagnosed with diabetes, and I was like, I want to see if I can reverse this with food, with diet. I've always heard it's possible, and was like, I'm going to try it. And so we went keto, and with 2 to 3 cheat days a month, because again, you gotta keep your body guessing a little bit. But it is worked absolutely fantastic. For not only was I able to reverse my diabetes in 3 months, but the overall inflammation, the arthritis, just the pain has been down a lot as well. But if you can essentially just cut snacks out, eat 2 good meals a day with plenty of fiber, and don't eat late at night or within 5 hours of bed. I'm on intermittent fasting as well. I'll go about 16 to 20 hours in between meals. So I had my last meal at about 3:30 today, and I won't eat again until about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And I just started having protein shakes today too. I just started getting on a little workout regimen again.
There you go.
I'm sore, man. I'm sore.
Oh yeah.
It's always fun. I've been through this cycle a couple times, and it's just, I don't know, it's fun to get back into it. But I really wanted to see as I've gotten older, kind of how much I could help with proper diet, and kind of how much can I change that? How can I really affect my health that much? And the results have been incredible.
I know with me personally, I can't, it's all an excuse really. And I just need to overcome it. But I have to work out to keep a healthy diet. So like when I'm working out, I feel that pump, that soreness, you know what I'm saying? That makes me want to eat healthy. If I'm not working out or having like an active lifestyle,
Right.
I cheat so easily like on my diet. You see what I'm saying? So like me personally, but it's like with a kid and full-time job and streaming or whatever, like even trying to find time to work out is hard.
It's it's just kind of funny because if anything, it should be the exact opposite. On the days that you work out are the days that you should have those extra calories, the extra protein, the extra stuff to help build the muscle. And on the days that you don't work out as much, you don't eat as much. And I started doing a 24-hour fast after my kind of binge day or two, where I'm eating a half a pumpkin pie all by myself for Thanksgiving. It's going to be incredible. Like I get to let the fat kid out 2 to 3 times a month, and that's kind of important. Cheat days are important, and it's again to kind of continue to do stuff like this. You really have to love and get excited about the food you eat. There are a lot of great healthy options out there. There are a lot of great foods that help keep you full. One thing that I didn't really realize till I started a keto journey is that 1 gram of fat provides like 1,000 times more energy than 1 gram of carbs. So it's like as I've been burning the fat, I'm not hungry at all. I never find myself hungry. In fact, I'll go 20 hours. I'll wake up in the morning and I'm like, I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry at all. In fact, today I was awake for 4 hours before I ate anything.
Especially when you've been doing it for so long. Like it might be hard at first.
Oh yeah.
But if you kind of get
I should very much stress that. So the first about 3 weeks a month, that was rough.
Yeah.
Tired. I tried to do a walk around the lake. It's probably about 1.5 miles. And I was like, dog mom, I've never been so close to literally crawling on the sidewalk home. Because I was just like, just from walking, it was it was tiring. But once the body does make that switch, it's really incredible. Really incredible.
Well, anyway, I just sorry to put you on the spot, but I should figure I'd give you a little bit of, hey, congratulations
I had
on your
little,
journey.
Little preparation. And anyone curious, I'm always open to help answer any questions that you may have. And I do have some kind of before, middle, and when I'm done with this journey, I will have some before, middle, and after pictures to help document the journey. I really wish I would have done a picture every day in the mirror, so you could just watch like the whole like time lapse. That would have been really fun. But oh well, next time. In like 10 years, when I go to lose 100 pounds again after I put it on, we'll do it. We'll do it then.
I'll do it all over again.
We'll do it then.
Man, I always like to try to find our last topic for today. I always like to find just just like a discussion topic. You know what I mean? Something different out there, just to have a little discussion. And I said, obviously, you know about it. In 2025, I believe, yes. So as soon as 2025. A space hotel could open up.
I'm excited.
Let me throw you some numbers here, okay? And then we'll talk about just this crazy.
I have a donation button, chat. There's a donation button.
Space hotel that could open up. Okay, so it's called. There's two stations that are going to open up, right? The Voyager station, which is going to be a bigger one, could accommodate 280 guests and up to 400. If they, their plans are at least 280 up to 400. Okay. But the one that could open up sooner is called the Pioneer Station, and that's only 28 at a time. And so they're kind of a smaller one than a bigger one. And
would this would it be basically like a space station, like an orbiting satellite, and then like you would shoot people up there, dock, and then hang out for a night or two or whatever?
So it's.
I didn't have a chance to get too far in the article. I was so deep into trying to fill out everything.
Yeah, no, dude. I kind of highlighted the main points to kind of talk about it, and we'll just kind of go off the riff and see what we think. But yeah, so it's going to be as little as 4 days minimum and up to 2 weeks maximum.
Oh Jesus!
And then
they say how much?
Well. Funny you should say that. Right off the rip, right?
Like 4 days, what? At least 10 million.
The first people. Hold on. The first people that could go on the trip. that launched right that launched the ordinary like passengers into space, like the original ones,
Okay.
$450,000 per person, almost half a million per person.
Very reasonable.
Right.
I mean, but all things considered, I mean, going to space, we're talking
I know.
rocket fuel. We're talking
I know.
like I would not have been surprised if it was like 10 million for 4 days.
Well,
They
so
have
again,
to ship air up there or fucking whatever, dude. Like it's a completely foreign habitat.
well, that's the thing. So that just says 450,000 per
Right.
person.
Setting up
Now, if you go for 2 weeks,
$450,000 donation goal. I want to
That's
go
what
to space chat.
that's what I'm saying. So like, longer you go there, maybe if it's just that's the base rate, right, for 4 days, right? But maybe if you want to go a week, it's 750,000. You know what I mean? If you want to go 2 weeks, it's 1.5 mil. You know what I mean? Or like something like that. It could obviously go up the longer you're there.
Right.
But I'm sure that's also just a ballpark.
How crazy would that be, though, man? Space.
Yeah.
That would be so fun.
Yes.
That is a dream of mine. I would love to go to space. And as soon as people got rich enough to start sending rich people into space, I was like, Twitch, here we come. I'm ready. I will be the first outer space streamer, okay? Get me there.
Are you still wanting to go to space even after the whole submarine fiasco?
Oh, 100%. What if I was going to go, I want to be able to just stare out into the darkness and go, "Hello, old friend. I'm home." I would not mind. Dude. It could, I mean, and you'd become like liquefied in a second. Your blood would boil and you just explode.
Yeah, dude, 100%.
And yeah, it's painless,
100%.
but just to like experience the like the infinite.
Yes.
Would be just.
Yes.
I mean, just like William Shatner, he went up there and he was just like, I saw the face of God. It's 100%, man. Like that would just be the most incredible and fun space fact. I actually, I watch a lot of videos.
Yeah.
Apparently, people who do spacewalks and been out on spacewalks say that space smells like burnt meat. They said when they come back in from spacewalks that the spacesuit would smell like burnt meat.
Interesting.
And so if you ever wondered what space smells like, well, take it from the astronauts. Charred meat. It's the grilling in space, baby. Yeah. And I wasn't invited.
You're right. And if you look, so I on my stream, I pulled up the picture, of that space day, the one from the article, right? I'm sure you've seen the one from the article. So like the way that spaceship is, okay?
Oh, that looks really fucking cool, bro.
But like it's up and down, and they're talking about having artificial air in it to just walk around like normal.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
how would you be able to walk around like that? Like, would it have to be flat? You see what I'm saying? Like,
no, because you're in space. It probably, as it moves around, it creates its own gravity. Because it's like technically on the United States, us standing here, we're standing sideways on planet Earth, but to us, it feels flat. Well, when you're in space like that, and you are creating your own gravity, as you're even walking upside down, you feel like you're walking on a flat line because you're making the artificial gravity. It's making it feel flat.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah,
100%.
That
would be so fun.
Is it me though, or just like the way that like looks there? I'm like,
space is scary.
How's that gonna work?
Space is fucking scary. There's like tiny little microscopic meteorites zooming at like 100,000 miles an hour. Like one little crack or one ding strong enough in a window, and like you're gone, dude. Like,
How is that again? What would happen?
And you're gone, dude. Liquefied, spaghettified, 100%. But it's terrifying. Gosh. Radiation, like it's terrifying. Yeah. Terrifying.
Yeah. I just want some flat earther to like.
Would it be fun?
Pay to go up there and see it, and see that the Earth is round, and be like, "What now?"
Yeah. Hollow Earth though. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have that conversation.
Are we about to have a conspiracy episode?
I would love to have. Hey, we could talk Bigfoot, cryptids, like aliens. I'm totally down, bro.
Speaking of Bigfoot,
so much.
You been on Twitter yet today?
I knew that something dropped, but no, I hadn't.
The new Ross Lake map on Bigfoot dropped. So we have a new map now on Bigfoot.
So
So,
maybe some
so
Sunday we'll have to play Bigfoot or something, you
Sunday,
know?
getting the gang back together for some Bigfoot.
All right, all right. I mean,
Yeah,
Boutique's
yeah,
back,
yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah, we can make that
yeah.
happen. Dyslexic if his computer works, and we'll be fine.
Right, right. But yeah, man, I saw this article and about the space hotel, and
Love
I'm like,
space. Space is
I got
cool.
I gotta
Space is
talk
so
to
cool.
Schmidty about this,
Oh
man.
hell yeah.
But it's only a matter of time. So off the rip here, are we moving to Mars? Like, what's the deal?
Is Elon gonna get us there?
He's trying to.
But oh, that'd be interest. That would be.
Like, is this space hotel like the first step in trying to get us off Earth?
I mean, if you think about it, this is the only option as survival as a species,
Right.
is to become, have more than one planet, like to inhabit more places. It would be a great stepping stone if our science can get us there. Like, wow, what a journey we have done in just 1800s, we're horse and wagon, and 300 years later we're like building colonies on Mars. Like, I think that is a really crazy timeline.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
Like, that happened so fast. And again, some people
Yep.
think that technology boom, back in the 40s and 50s, we're from Roswell like area. And that could be a conversation
Gosh.
for another day.
Why are we not sponsored yet? Is all I want to
You
know.
know, I love talking that stuff. It's
Yeah.
interesting. But
Hey,
Mars,
man.
that would be what an accomplishment. What an accomplishment, and it's like, was Mars inhabited before? And there's a
It
common
got
theory
ruined.
that
Yeah.
that we are Martians, that planet, like, when became
Like
uninhabitable, and we
we
are
ruined it. Yeah.
somehow, yeah.
Yep.
But kind of along those lines too, there was an interesting article I was reading about the Fermi paradox. Are you familiar with that? Do you know?
No, but please enlighten me.
So the Fermi paradox is the question: if there's all this life out there, where is it?
Uh huh.
Because even the most conservative estimates, out of the, like 100 billion stars in our galaxy with 100 billion galaxies, they're like, even having 1% of 1% would be at least like 100,000 intelligent civilizations or life
Somewhere.
civilizations in our
Yes.
galaxy alone. And they're like, again, where is everyone? And as you were talking about kind of colonizing other planets, they're like, maybe the Fermi paradox and the reason that we have not found other life is no civilization has made it past like a type 1 or type 2 civilization. I think we're actually maybe even still in just like type 1, type 2 at the very most, but they were like, the way that you get to, type 3 civilizations with the kind of interplanetary or
Sure.
galactical colonization, they were like, maybe no society has ever made it that long, that they all self-implode and
Mm-hmm.
end up, destroying the planet, and the civilization ends up dying out. And that's why we don't see anyone, is there could have been millions of civilizations that have come and died in the
Mm-hmm.
billion years that we've been here on Earth,
Right.
or
Well, I
that
mean
Earth
that
has been around.
that kind of makes sense too, because I mean, I don't know if everybody believes in the like global warming thing, but like we as civilization now are slowly ruining Earth and like how and being able to inhabit it and
Right.
global warming and all that. So it's like we're just now getting to the point where we're going in space more. So we may
Right.
ruin Earth
We're
before
gonna
you
have.
before you said
Yeah.
like what you're saying. We may ruin Earth before we even get enough technology to leave it
Yeah,
because
exactly.
we're ruining it so fast. So I
But
get it.
then, but then, let's say you get on this cycle where it's like, imagine us as a species or something then that gets out there. It's like, oh, we killed this planet, so we go to another one, and then kill that planet, and then go to. It's
Yeah.
like, what? And then it's like, then I feel like even more of a dick, dude. Then we're just space dicks, man. And I don't like that. I don't like that. I
Yeah.
don't want to be that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Interesting topics. I
Yep.
think maybe a few community questions. I think we had some
Yeah.
inquisitive people out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, so our last segment that we have for today is community questions. And again, I always like to say that if you want to submit a question to the After Hours podcast, we can talk about it. You can tag Schmidty32 or Mr. J. Gilbert on Twitter. You can join either one of our Discords or join us on stream on twitch.tv/. Schmidtty32 or Mr. J Gilbert, and submit any community questions that you want. We'll try to get to as many as we can, time permitting, in the After Hours podcast. A couple questions that we have for today, though. This one comes from Asterath. If you had to play one video game series for the rest of your life, assuming that it would continuously get sequels, spin-offs, etc., what would it be and why? Only one series forever.
I know, and it's just I'd have to come to my first thing, like true to my heart, and it's something we've talked about a lot tonight. Diablo. It's just the ARP genre. I'm a huge fan. It's one of those super easy to play. It's chill, but hard to master. Like if you really want to get to true end game and get into the mechanics, it can be rather difficult. But I love those. They're just simple to play. They're fun to play in groups. And if there was one game that would like consistently either get updated or have sequential games like over and over again, I would love the Diablo games. Honorable mention Borderlands, and the only reason that I chose Diablo over Borderlands is Borderlands has really disappointed me between Borderlands 3 and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
Sure.
I was pretty disappointed for lack of content, and especially paid DLC lack of content. Like I love the Borderlands series. I'll probably always play them. They'll probably always give me, but if I had to choose one game, Diablo, man, I love it. Do you have one that I'll think of if you were like, one?
I do, and friends of mine know that like I play it, but I've never played it on stream. Like I've never talked about it. I don't know if
exactly what you're about to say. No,
I don't know if you do. The Monster Hunter series. No, it's not
Oh,
Warhammer.
you
No,
were
it's not.
wrong.
It's not Total War Warhammer. No, I love that. I do love that series
I
too.
thought we were friends, bro.
Dude,
I just
that's
learned something
close.
about this guy.
That's
tonight,
close.
bro.
Don't get me wrong. But no, the Monster Hunter series. So Monster Hunter came out. I
Okay.
played Monster Hunter for years. I played it on PSP, 3DS, on the Wii.
They are really fun games. They are really fun games.
It came out on the Wii for like it was Monster Hunter Tri. Then Monster Hunter World came out on on the consoles and stuff.
That's the one
and
I
it's like,
played. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I've played literally almost every single Monster Hunter game in the franchise on handhelds, consoles, everything. And I have on each game. Don't get me wrong. On each game, I've sunk at least 500 hours on each game.
Yeah.
And they're just so fun, man. Because especially with the question said that if it's continually getting sequels and spinoffs, so that means there's always going to be new monsters, like
there's
new
always
hunts,
gear
new
to grind,
levels,
new hunts.
exactly.
Always
And it's like, oh god, I love the Monster Hunter game, the series, love it.
Yeah,
But
and
Warhammer is close,
yeah,
top three for sure.
I was gonna say when I'm on Steam, I like that's what I always before Cyberpunk DLC. It was always Warhammer 40,000.
It's top 3, 100%.
Oh man.
Yep. All right, next question. You ready?
I think so.
This is also from Asterath. What's on your music playlist right now? What are you vibing to?
So I think today we're back to the 2000s, 2010s alternative rock on Spotify. And for a while I've been hanging with the dad mix. It was kind of fun with the dad vibes. But yeah, there's a 2000 and 2010 Spotify playlist that I've been playing right now. I've really been enjoying it. Has like oh yeah, the Gorillas. I mean, I'll have Red Hot Chili Peppers, Creed. You know, you love Creed getting thrown in there. Sugar Ray.
This question for me, it was hard to pin down because with kids, I have to play the same 7 songs over and over again.
Right.
You know, because they're always hooked on. Like my son loves Imagine Dragons Thunder.
Ooh, yeah.
Like he always wants me to play that song, right? So I'm always listening to that.
Great song.
Or obviously my daughter loves like Let It Go. You know what I mean? From Frozen.
I was gonna say Frozen. I was gonna say you're like
So
my
it's like-
daughter. I was like Frozen.
So it's like I always have this.
Let it go.
Go. Yeah, I always have like same 7 songs on repeat. You know what I mean? So
You know, when that
whenever
song they made the word
whenever-
Frozen Fractals, that was not a real word till that song came out.
no,
I'm
I
just
didn't know
saying.
that.
Listen to
Yeah.
it. Listen to it. Frozen Fractals, not a real word.
But so like I don't really have a music genre because whenever I'm have time or whatever, I usually have like a YouTube video on of some kind going,
Hmm.
whether it's like highlights of a game or like football game or highlights of like Monster Hunter or
Right.
Warhammer or New World or something like that. So I really don't have the only thing that I do listen to like repeatedly is my Big Booty Mix. The playlist that I do.
I
It's
was
just
gonna say
mashups of songs.
for myself personally, like outside of stream, when I've been going for like my walks and stuff, I actually have been back listening to old school Tenacious D.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of the albums I've been going through. Before that, I was back to Boxcar Racer. Before that, I was on Gorillaz. Before that, I was back into Daft Punk for a little while.
Hmm.
But Tenacious D has been the albums that I've kind of been going through again recently.
Yeah.
They're just so fucking funny. I love Jack Black.
Yeah, he is hilarious. He's a genius. Well, in the agenda that we have one more question. There's a question that was posed in chat too, but it's gonna be one of those open-ended like theory questions. So
Okay.
I don't know if we want to get to that one tonight because that's gonna be pressed for time. And are we ever gonna get to New World?
Well, I
So
already kind of warned my chat that I was like, there's a lot to talk about tonight. I don't know if we're gonna have a 2 hour podcast. This could turn into a thing, dude.
But all right. So the question that we had on our agenda right now, our last one originally that we had was, what you personally, this comes from Torque1369. What are some of your goals that you have as a content creator besides having a successful OnlyFans?
Uh, well, since I already have a successful OnlyFans,
And it could be monthly. It could be like monthly or long term. You know what I mean? Like,
but I think I kind of look at everything one and the same, and again, as we talked about last week here, the first week, you really kind of gotta love what you do. And again, the goals is just to, again, yeah, try to grow my audience, but it's not so much to necessarily at the end of the day to like help myself, but it's like if there are people in there hanging out, and if my stream grows, then I'm providing a service. Like I'm providing entertainment, I'm making people happy, and like people that know me, I'm the happiest when I make other people happy. So um as one of my goals is just to continue to try to spread love and happiness, man, on every stream. Tell people that you're seen, you're appreciated, you're loved. And my goals are just, really simple. It's just take care of that person in front of me, take care of that viewer who's in there talking to me. Maybe they're having a great day, maybe they're having a bad day. But for me, it's always my long-term goal is the same as my short-term goal. Is it's like I just try to take care of the people that are in there with me, man. And if you're having a great day and want to rock out and continue to have a great day,
right.
like awesome. But if I can take that negative and turn it around into a positive, or I can leave you in a better state than I found you, like that's always my goal every stream. Also doing a lot of charity work. It's always great if I can try to meet those goals, as that's kind of a more of a monthly focus. But that's a little more of the long term that I go. Otherwise, I'm just like, I just try to take care of the people that are in me with me that day. And
Mhm.
that's what's important to me. That's my goal, man, is just to try to provide some value to your life
Yep.
and yourself.
Uh,
Put that on a Hallmark card, man.
right. Jeez.
You it's
How do
like
I
put me
follow
on
that
the
up?
spot. Put me on the
Can,
spot, bro.
can I just say ditto what he said?
But that was one thing that a very smart person I respect. They're like, just take care of the person in front of you, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same way at the grocery store. That's
Yep.
just if I'm just taking care of that person in front of me, because that's my attention, man. Making
Right.
your day better.
Right. Yeah. Mine. I mean, mine's similar. It's kind of like what you were saying. I've been, and I want to be, kind of community focused with my streams. And I every Thursday I try to do some type of community game, whether it's words, not words, whether it's like the the golf, like golf with your friends, or
Uh-huh.
Fall Guys, or like playing Dead by Daylight with community members, or like whatever it is, I want to just continue to build the community and build the camaraderie. And I'm always, every stream, I'm usually playing with somebody or a group of people, right?
Right.
So I'm really community focused on that. So I just want to kind of keep building that, keep meeting new people, keep growing it, keep having people meet people and things like that. So it's kind of just building the community around me and around each other.
That's how I
Uh,
met about 70% of the people I know is because of you.
yeah, and just community building. And my long-term goal is kind of, I want to say it's a selfish goal, but like, you as a streamer and content creator, you kind of have to have that one goal, like, for yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you
Oh
have to
yeah,
kind of have the,
100%.
like, obviously you can be all about everyone else, like, absolutely, but deep down you have to have the one goal, or a goal really, that satisfies yourself, right?
Right.
And truthfully, what I want to do is I want to get to the point where I'm big enough as a content creator, streamer, whatever it may be, to like sponsor an event, like a get together, like a gathering. Like
Right.
I rent out a building, and we just get everybody, the community members, to come to this building. We like play games. We
Like a
play,
mini TwitchCon, bro.
right? You know what I'm saying? But it's like I sponsor that event
JCon.
for the
JCon,
community
bro. That's
members.
got a JCon. JCon.
I mean, something.
JCon.
Something. So it's like, that's, I don't
Love
know.
that.
That's kind of like I don't say,
Trademark that shit. We're
I wouldn't even say it's
trademarking.
a selfish goal, but it's a goal that it's like I want to get to the point where I can sponsor an event and just have the community get together and come together and just like have a good time for a weekend
Yeah.
together.
Right.
You know?
So a MrJ esports team. Got it.
Something.
Dead by
Right?
Daylight. Apex.
Oh,
Maybe?
I mean, I am an
Apex?
Apex main. I'm an
Apex?
Apex main. But hey, what we're gonna do, because we have to get to New World. The
Okay.
question that Torque1369 posed in chat, and this is gonna be the question that we're gonna lead off next episode with.
So
I'm
we're
gonna
not
give.
answering it tonight.
Here's the thing: we can. I'll tell you the question, but I feel like it's one of these questions that's gonna be at least another 30 minutes before we get to New World. Here's the question. He says, "What are your theories on what dark matter really is?"
Oh my god.
Do you see what I'm
We
saying?
need like 2 hours for this.
That's what it's why it's like, you know what? How about we pose it now, and then next episode we'll start off with it so we have time to think about it.
Yeah, that's gonna require some thought. I think that could be a very fun, as someone who spends a lot of their time thinking about the theoretics of consciousness, theoretical and quantum physics, mechanics, reality, vibration, dark matter,
That's what I'm. It's like
dark energy.
we're never getting a New World if that's the case.
Yeah, and I really want to. I really need to have time to prepare for that one. I
Uh-huh.
really need time to prepare for that one.
Yep.
I'm not ready for that one. Next week,
Yeah, for sure.
dark matter. We're gonna get into
For
some
sure.
shit. I can't wait.
But anything you want to leave us off with before we sign out?
I think we're good, man. We feel we can run some expeditions tonight.
Absolutely.
We looking at depths or barnacles? Anything?
Maybe one we did barnacles last week, so let's run some depths for now and just see where the night takes
Depths
us.
is pretty easy. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be good.
Yep. Well, you guys,
Word.
we got a couple announcements really to make, and this is the third episode. We got the fourth episode coming next week here on the After Hours podcast. Schmidtty32, myself, Mr. J. Gilbert.
Thank you so much again for having me.
We are, hey, my pleasure for you being here. Hey, we have our first guest coming on next week. Should we announce it or should we keep it a secret?
I think we could leave the anticipation a little bit.
Oh, we have our first guest
We have
coming
a
on next week.
We have a
And-
cliffhanger.
And it is. And then we just cut it right there, right? And then we just like end the podcast.
And then that's it. It's like,
Oh, shucks.
everyone's like slapping their TV, like, God damn it, the TV went out again. Replug in the Fire Stick. Something ain't working.
But no, for real, we do have our first guest coming on next week, so stick around for that. It's gonna be absolutely exciting.
Well, and again, as we touched base on the topic of health this week, this is a great opportunity to maybe continue some of those conversations. And that's the only hint you're getting. It's the only hint you're getting, chat.
Oh no, he's in 2 weeks.
Is it 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Well, whenever it is, we have our first guest lined up, and it's going to be
We have our
absolutely
first guest, then we have another guest after that. Like, we're making moves, you guys.
Yeah,
We're making
exactly. And
we're making
if
moves.
anyone's interested in being on the podcast with us, we are open to that. Feel free to reach out to either Mr. J or myself, and we will try to squeeze you in here, and you can get your input on all the topics we discuss.
Absolutely.
And a copy of the notes to prove that we do plan for this.
It's true.
I was proud of myself today. I was like, dog mom, I got so much shit to do on the computer today.
I'm gonna show it again, you guys.
I know. Look at the bold. I underline things and everything.
Oh
It's
man.
true. It's true.
But all right, guys, we are going to switch over to New World Run some Expeditions, so be sure to stick around. Thank you, appreciate you. And episode 3 of the podcast, I think it's going great. I think I have a lot of good topics on here, so be sure to get your community questions in every week, so we can get to as many of those as we can. And I appreciate you being here, and we will see you next week, episode 4, with our very first guest.
Thank you all so much.